Welcome to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Touchdown, Braylon Edwards.
Braylon Edwards, touchdown, Michigan.
Running pattern to Edwards, touchdown, Michigan.
Where we bring you the best in sports, entertainment, and insight. Join us every weekday from 2 to 4 p.m. as we break down the latest games, analyze the biggest plays, and dive into the hottest topics in sports. We'll have exclusive interviews with your favorite athletes and guests, and you'll get a front row seat to all the action. So tune in to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Got one-on-one going end zone. Edwards in the air. Oh, what a catch by Braylon Edwards. His second touchdown of the game.
On the Woodward Sports Network, where sports comes to life.
He's back. We are so fired up that he is back. That's awesome news for us.
Let's go.
Nothing against Anson. We love dealing with Anson, too. Love talking sports with you on the chat. But Braylon Edwards, the man whose name this show is dedicated to, is
that
with us
number
back
one
here.
Braylon energy.
It's that number one Braylon energy. Yep, and he's feeling it today for good reason, okay? Yeah. His Michigan team has a bye week, and they had an impressive win last week. His son got it done, okay? That's where he was. His son got it done. And the reason I'm so fired up, I could be going on 36 straight hours of no sleep. Yeah. I would still be fired up today because we get not one, not two, 3 Braylon breakdowns. And I'm telling you right now, I promise you, you are going to be glued to the set and you're going, you know what? I learned something today. It's not about following the football. It's about what all the others guys do around the football. And that is coming up here on the Braylon Edwards Show. Really fired up. Dr. James Pierce. Yeah, it is going to be a slam dunk great show because of that. All right? Dr. Jeff Pierce joins us a little bit later on as well. We'll talk some injuries. Yeah. Justin Fields has got the concussion. David Fry got hit in the face. How does that affect him? And Tarek Skubal, that and a whole lot more coming up with Dr. Pierce. Good to have you back, my friend. How are you?
This is how I am. Is the microphone ready? Because we're about to get Braylon's Breakdown a little bit earlier. But it's going to be the youth edition of Braylon's Breakdown. Good to be with you, gentlemen. I went down to Cleveland yesterday to see my son play, and they had a great game. Lord saw us through. It was a monsoon that we drove through. I almost had to stop on the road, Shep. I almost had to pull over under one of the overpasses. That's how bad it was raining on the way down to Cleveland yesterday. But Lord saw us through. We got there. And when we got there, my son did not disappoint. So, without further ado, Kool-Aid, Ryan, let's get this thing cracking on a
we will get it crazy. Yeah.
Breakdown Youth Edition. Here we go. You got the clip? We ready to rock and roll?
Uh-oh, let's rock.
By the way, this is a bonus. This is a bonus, all right?
This is a bonus.
I said 3, but those were all Lions. This is a bonus for you. Go ahead.
This is a bonus. So I'm going to tell you why my son is a little bit like Sonic and also a little bit like Knuckles. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Dave Montgomery as well as Jameer Gibbs. My son is wearing 16. He is coming in motion. His coach is doing a little bit of his best Johnny Moe impersonation. Now, he's wearing 16 because 17 doesn't exist. That's why, if you had that question. All right, run the footage. Here we go. Maddox comes in motion. Nice play design. Takes the ball. He sees it right here. He reads the zone. He sees they have collapsed this pocket on the other side. Sees a little bit of daylight. Not too much, just a little bit of daylight. So 16 doing his best Gale Sayers impersonation. Hit play on that, please. Thank you, Ryan. Bakes across field, 77 stands, no chance. Watch the hand knock down on the linebacker right here. Here we go. Sorry, sir, you're out here. Now you see him picking up speed. I don't even know why this guy looked at. Now pause. Now I told you he was like Dave Montgomery as well as Jameer Gibbs. Rewind it all the way back. Rewind it all the way back, and I'm actually be quiet. So proud of my son, I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to let you tell me when it turns into Dave Montgomery. Hit play, Ryan.
It's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
I feel bad for the corner.
Here comes that's the speed. Nope. Let it play through. Kirkpatrick! Let's go! You see it. Run it back one more time. They don't play like that in this era, these young kids. They don't want the smoke. They don't want the contact. My son, he does. Just look at it right here. This is what you call a flipper in football. This is what you call a chicken wing. This is what you give somebody, a little shove like that, and just look at him. KO. OD, and I'm not talking about Miami. Running back one last time. Got to get the full effect, man. All right, hit play. You see the moves. Ran through. This is just a good play design. He runs through the zone run, much like Jameer Gibbs and Dave Montgomery, which we'll talk about later. And then you see the finish. This is what it's at right now. He was so excited, he didn't even care to finish the play. He slowed up a little bit. He could have scored a touchdown, but that's neither here nor there. Next play for me. Because you know what? He likes to come off the end a little bit too, getting his Aiden Hutchinson on, a little bit of Jack Campbell, a little bit of Brian Branch. Hit play, 16 off the edge. Reads the play. Wasn't much to read here. Oh, this is going to be good. Easy peasy. I don't know what he was doing. He set him up. Quarterback, no. You shouldn't set your boy up like that. Comes up, makes the tackle, hit play. Does a great job, stands him up. Just a wrap. Look at it. Finish the play. He finished the play. That's how you finish the play.
And then you got the lopper, last man on pile.
100%. He has to jump on, a little JOP, get your little jump on pile. And then you can show the last one, the seam play. We don't want to overdo him. And this was easy. I had to show you he does get in the end zone. Here you go. Little seam route. I don't know what covers they're playing. It looks like cover nothing. And it looks like cover nothing. Like this coach got the memo. Other coach still trying to figure it out. Younger guys. Hit play. You can hit play. And then boom, there it is.
Somebody pick up the biggest kid on the field.
And which happens to be my son. And then the last clip is the score of the game. 56-6.
It's covered.
And my son doesn't wear gloves, by the way, so all his catches are
covered
with
nothing.
the hand.
Oh,
So
that's
this is
awesome.
what you get. So this is why I missed yesterday. It was to go see this guy put on the freaking clinic.
It's a
put on the show.
great reason to
Can you
miss.
tell I'm happy?
Yeah, you should be happy. You should be very proud. That's the cover nothing thing is going to live on in infamy. That was awesome.
Cover nothing, man. I don't know what they were doing out
So
there.
Brant right away in the chat. Hey, can we listen to sports instead of hearing Shep bitch about everything under the sun? Okay, Brent, you're right, okay?
Okay.
We are going to do that because yesterday it was a little bit of a rant on my part, maybe a
Let
little
me
bit
guess.
more
Does
than
it have anything to do with the team that plays at Comerica?
that was a little bit later on. It was about the city of Detroit and what we should be doing. But Brant, I hear you, and you're 100% right.
I'm back, Brent. I got him.
He's got it.
I reel him in.
We could do that, though. I do have a quick question for people, and I think it's a fair question because with the Tigers losing their 8th in a row and now 10 of their last 11 and falling a game back, but still a game up on Houston in the wild card, and Detroit gets Cleveland tonight and then 3 against Boston. Houston goes to Los Angeles after playing the A's one more time. And in case you were wondering, Cleveland gets Detroit, of course, tonight, and then they will host Texas. So that's how it works for the rest of the teams you're following. But the blame game has been vast. All right?
Yeah.
From the owner to the president of baseball operations to a little bit about the manager to the players and so on and so forth. Where do we view the largest amount, the most blame at all? And here's what I wanted to start with, and then we'll get people in the chat and get your thoughts too. Evan Petzel put this out earlier today, the writer for the Free Press. When Scott Harris, around the trade deadline, and I don't want to keep harping on it, but he did say the flashiest moves oftentimes generate the headlines. They're not always the most effective moves. A lot of the moves that we passed on felt like moves that were going to haunt us for many years to come. If they blow a 15.5 game lead, and they do something that no team has done since, what was it, 1914?
That's crazy.
And that was in a 154 game schedule or 146 schedule. Does that not haunt you? Now, he didn't have the foresight. Who would have thought this collapse? I sure didn't. I don't know many people who did, but this is the haunting thing. Some of the quotes and some of the sound bites that this team is putting together during this tough time, I think is really hurting them. Do you agree?
I would definitely agree. Before I talk about who is to blame, because there's enough blame to go around, but I do believe there is a pecking order, and I have my number one. In terms of no one believing this was going to happen, and no one's thinking this is going to happen. Now, do I believe anyone foresaw this and say, hey, this is going to happen at the beginning of the season, or this is going to happen at the All-Star break, or this is going to happen when the Tigers were cooking the first 40, 50 games of the season? No. But once it started falling apart, like it fell apart fast, and it continued to fall. Like, there were a lot of signs, and we asked a lot of baseline questions, and I myself would ask you the questions, but then I still would say, I trust A.J. Hinch. I trust in Tarek Skubal. I trust in the fact that the experience that they gained last year, and I trust if you look at the record and you look at the 12 months, like, this is the sample size. It's a big enough sample size to be like, they're the truth, they're for real. But there were signs, and there were signs that collapse. There were signs that it would get to a point where we would have questions, and it did, and then those questions were never really answered, and then it got to a point now where we're in second place for the first time since April 22nd.
184 days. What was the most glaring sign that maybe we weren't picking up?
The biggest thing, I don't know if it's the most glaring sign, but for me, the best thing about the Tigers last season was the pitching. The best thing about the Tigers last year in the playoffs was the pitching. The best thing about when the Tigers were doing their thing early on this year, pitching slowed down a little bit, but the pitching, especially Tarek Skubal, the pitching in the last 2 months, it has not been pitching that is going to win you games or win you games in the playoffs or even put you in a position to stay in the space that you were. And the pitching amongst the hits I don't talk about it as much because I always thought they were overreaching. They were over in terms of the hitting. I thought one day it would find this level. But that's cool because the level that you're at, what you added in Gleyber Torres, what you have now in Riley Green, what you have inconsistently or not in Tarek Skubal, it's enough to go with that pitching that you had last year. It's enough to go with how A.J. Hinch was setting strategy up. The pitching changed. The strategies changed. A.J. Hinch coach speak started looking a little bit different. The bats disappeared.
That's big.
Like the bats
especially in key moments, right? Like the pitching you bring up in September.
And I'm a novice at this, so
no, you're not.
Educate me.
You're good with it. The ERA of 5.32, that pitching chaos stuff, we said earlier this year, and I think a lot of people echoed it. It's really difficult to duplicate.
Unsustainable.
It's unsustainable. All right, and my plead for starters going longer, obviously, went unheeded. They just felt like they had enough. The question is, if they get to the playoffs, and they still have a chance, as we all know, it's a game lead on Houston. Houston stinks right now. Houston stinks right now. They've lost 5 in a row.
100%. They lost to Athletics last night. I know you talked about it yesterday, and I know you had a point going on, but just the fact that that's the conversation today.
I know it is.
I don't want to harp on it, but I didn't get a chance to say it yesterday. Just the fact that that's the conversation is never mind.
But Braylon, we literally have people who don't want them to make the playoffs.
Now, I've been hearing this. Why? Like, for educated, a dumb individual in this regard, why wouldn't you want them to make the playoff?
Heartbreak, and you're pissed. Like, I'm going to teach you a lesson.
Okay.
Son, don't touch the stove. It's warm. Goes to touch it. Are you grabbing his hand, or are you going to say, okay, you'll see? Okay. I think that's how people feel. I'll be honest with you. There's a part of me that felt that for just a brief moment. I want them to make the playoffs, okay, because I want this town to enjoy baseball and so on and so forth. But there's a part of people, I think a deeper part, like, I wanted you to do this, that, and the other thing. You didn't do it. So now
you gonna see.
Now you're gonna see. And am I wrong there, Kool-Aid?
You're not wrong at all. That is the sentiment. People have been clamoring for this team to take these trade deadlines serious, and to take, I'm gonna say that word, the Super Bowl window serious. I thought they had a great opportunity. Obviously, they had an opportunity to set themselves up well, but this right now, I can say that there was some sentiment of people who said, you know what, I kind of want to see Scott Harris and this organization really see the fruits of their labor, which I think that we're seeing right now. Now, I want to see them make the playoffs. I just do.
Yeah.
But
if I give you a poll question, who's more to blame?
Yeah.
I'm going to give you 2 options, and you know what they are.
Let's rock.
Ilitch or Harris? Where do you think most Detroiters side with?
I think that changes today.
I would have, if you had asked me this question 2 days ago, 3 days ago, like I'd say most Detroiters would say Chris Ilitch. I think now they're finally getting to where I have gotten as well. I think it's Scott Harris. I think it's comments like that he made will come back and haunt us forever. It means you're trying to kick the can further on down the line. Like on top of the things that he hasn't done.
Well, the talent, quote unquote, he's brought in over the last 2 years as free agents and at the trade deadline have a lot to be desired. I mean, outside of, Kyle Finnegan's been pretty good, but
Glaber?
we haven't had much. Glaber Torres.
Right.
That's about it. I mean, Kenta Maeda,
yeah.
Gio Urshela.
Right.
No, I'm serious. That was last year, remember? Yep. Kenta Maeda, Gio Urshela, Chris Paddock this year, unfortunately, Charlie Morton. It hasn't worked.
I coming into the season when the show was different, I had a conversation, and the conversation was about a conversation that I had with someone in front office for a team in Detroit that is connected to the team that we're talking about. And the conversation was last year in the playoffs, and Shep, we can disagree on that. I'm just telling you the conversation that was told to me. Last year when it was all up and it didn't look like they had a shot in hell in May or late April, or May, which is where it'll be, he said, look, we're going to bring these guys up. We're going to do this. We're just going to see what these young guys can do. And they really were foregoing the season in his mind. In his mind, we're going to see what happens. Now, I could be wrong about that, but this is the conversation. We'll see what happens. No one expected what happened to happen, and then he doubled down in the offseason this year with the same team. Just keep this thing rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
And I think now you're in a position where just a little bit of pickup here, just a little bit of pickup here, not really making the moves that we saw. You know, everybody can't be wrong.
I just feel like they're not fully committed to what exactly they want to do.
What are they doing?
Like, I feel like they're kind of just like, well, do we want to exactly just build everyone, wait for the kids, build through the farm system, or we're kind of good and let's get some players.
Maybe I stop talking about this farm system. And
I don't think they're fully committed to what they exactly want to do just quite yet.
See, I think they are, and I think we have a problem with it. They're fully committed to the youth in the organization, and we don't want them to be. We want them to be committed to some members of the youth in the organization, but not that everybody's untouchable, if that makes sense to you. Okay? Yeah. I think they showed that at the deadline, and they showed it in the offseason too. Yes, we are committed. This is our plan. They've got a plan,
right? And
I think they're committed to it. I just don't think many of us agree with the plan. I read an article today that had the gall to say, well, this should have been expected because they're young. And I thought to myself, are you effing nuts?
No, that doesn't.
They were young last year, right? Like
younger.
They were younger last year. They had no playoff experience. They played, okay. But that was it in the Detroit News. Read it, or I think it might have been the Free Press.
Reject that.
And I'm like, wait a minute, they're young. Let me think about this for a second. Glaber Torres is 28. Zach McKinstry's 30. If you want to look at age, all right. Javier Baez is 32. Andy Ibanez is 32. How old is old enough is what I always ask. And why was it okay last year for them to be a big surprise as a young team, but this year suddenly that gets in the way? I don't think that makes sense.
The one question I asked you last week as it related to this was, will there be a difference because last year they didn't know what they didn't know? Like going through the season, being young guys, like having that rally, and they just were playing baseball. They just were going out there playing ball, and it happened to work. The city came alive, and they weren't playing under pressure. It was like, bleep, we're not supposed to be here anyway. Like, hey, let's just play ball. And they played ball. They came together, and it was magical. You know, it was magical for the two series that they played in the playoffs. This year, there's expectation. Like expectation, if you're not ready for it, regardless of how well you played last year, regardless of what happened last year, when expectation comes about, when pressure comes about in different circumstances, nobody was talking about the Tigers nationally last year.
Or can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
What's it like to be hunted when you're one of the better teams?
It's different.
And what is it like to be the hunter? So give us an example of how it's different, because to your point, maybe that's what it's about. Last year, I'll use the cliche, free and easy, nothing to lose, 2% chance, 0.02% chance of making the playoffs, and they shocked the world. Sorry, Michigan 1989, I stole it. All right, this year, expectations super high, come out super good, 59 wins of the All-Star break, and now they are the hunted. Yeah. Although they were the hunted for a couple of months there in the summer. So tell me the difference.
Money gets involved. Different deals get involved. Sponsorship gets involved. People talking about you gets involved. You're now a national brand. It gets involved. You get to see yourself on late night shows. You get to see yourself on social media. All that comes into the equation. Like, nobody cared about the Tigers last year into the playoffs.
Right.
Like, yeah, they were a darling story, but they still weren't talking about the Tigers until the Tigers actually got into the playoffs, and then they beat the Astros. So they didn't have to see themselves on social media or see themselves on TV or hear. Like, now they've been reading since the season started. World Series. Everyone at this network said World Series. Like, and you weren't here when the season started. Everyone at this network said World Series. World Series.
I said ALCS, but go ahead. Yep.
Okay, still same.
Yeah,
Still
close.
a place they haven't been since 2013. So it's different pressures, different things. I give you an example. This is what you asked for. When I played for the Browns, we were nothing. My first year, we were nothing. My second year, all of a sudden, my third year, all of a sudden we go 10-6. Should have made the playoffs. We didn't make it because the Tennessee Titans beat the Colts last game of the season. Peyton Manning and those guys didn't play. We go 10-6. We don't make the playoffs. We made 6 Pro Bowlers. Now, it's the first time we've had Pro Bowlers in 6, 7, 8 years. We won 7 of 8 games at home, and we were just out there playing football. It was fun. Nobody had a beat on us. Nobody knew who Rob Chudzinski was as an offensive coordinator. Remember, we was going out there catching people by surprise. We played a lot of bad teams. Fast forward to when we come into the next season.
It's a great story, by the way. That's awesome. I love that. You're right. Nobody knew who Rob Chudzinski. Go ahead. Oh, it's fantastic.
Fast forward, we go into next season. Guess what? We haven't had a Monday Night Football game since the team has been back in town.
Wow.
This is 1999. This is 2007. They haven't had a Monday Night Football. We didn't just get 1. We didn't just get 2. We didn't just get 3. We got 3, and we got a Sunday Night Football game and a Thanksgiving. We had 5 primetime games.
Nice.
Now you got guys pressing, what am I going to wear, what I'm going to do, what does it look like, who am I flying in, who's going to be at the game.
So it's real.
It's real. And
Good.
Now you're trying to put more pressure on you. Well, now, since people are watching, this is Monday Night Football, much like the Tigers were on Sunday Night Baseball, Saturday Night Baseball a lot. You start to worry about the things. Now, what am I going to do in the moment? How's it going to look? And I know that sounds stupid. It is 100% a real thing.
I don't think it
And
sounds.
they're
I
getting
don't think it sounds
critiqued more
stupid.
as well. That national
Well,
exposure.
That's an excellent
They're
point.
getting critiqued and asked more questions.
Excellent point.
And then you start to wrestle with those things in your head, because sometimes when you're young, Shep, like you just mentioned the older guys. Yeah, Javi has no excuse. Like, Javi has no excuse.
Torres has been there.
Gleyber Torres has no excuse.
Right.
But the younger guys, when you're 22, you're 21, you're 20, you're 24, you've never had this before. Now he was like, maybe I should step up in the plate a little bit because I've been missing. I've been coming off the ball.
But what about the guys who have been there? Like Scuba was there last year.
Yeah.
Green was there last year.
He's one-
Carpenter was there last year.
It's like one guy. It's 2 guys. Carpenter's still a young dude.
No, I understand that.
Right.
Well, 27, but I don't
Take
look
5
at
years to get through the farm system.
Yeah, I don't look at it age. I look at how
Okay.
many
Experience.
Major League Baseball games you have under your belt.
Okay.
I don't disagree with that. I'm just saying, if you came up in big moments a year ago and you felt the atmosphere, you know what's going on, you know how to expect, you know how to process. How is it different this time around down the stretch compared to last year, where you allow me to use the youth excuse? I don't buy the young excuse. You and I have seen in every sport young guys elevate their games as well as anybody else. Can I use Jalen Hurts for an example?
Yep.
His first Super Bowl, they didn't win. Did he look like he was out of place?
No. But some people are built through the temperament, though. Look at all that Jalen Hurts has been through. He goes to Alabama, the best school, the best institution at the time, probably ever. If you look at just that stretch run, then he goes to the national championship twice. Then he gets demoted. Then he goes to Oklahoma. Then he gets back to the playoff. Then he gets third in the highest. Then he come like so. It's a career of adversity. It's a career of big moments. And finally, he came through. On the opposite side, what about Lamar Jackson? Since you want to go to football highlights, we talk about the big moment. This is my guy. I'm going to use him against him. I'm going to use my love for him against him. Lamar can't win in the big moments. Yeah. It's something about the big moments where the pressure comes on. It's something about playing Mahomes in January. It's something about playing Josh Allen currently in the last 2 years. Okay. It's something about, that game won on him, but the Lions game. There's a disconnect with Lamar and his team in the big moments. And he's 2-time MVP.
Right.
Pressure's a real thing.
Yeah, I hope that's not the case for the Tigers. I guess when you talk about adversity, it's not like Kerry Carpenter hasn't faced adversity. True. Or Tarek Skubal hasn't faced adversity. I think it's a little bit of a cop-out.
Right.
And quite honestly, I think it's the team feeding certain writers information saying, hey, how about this? we're a little young to experience this. Oh, okay, and I'll write it, and then suddenly, what do you have? People going, well, maybe they are a little young because look at Torkelson's 25 and Green. Listen, they played last year. They know what it was like down the stretch.
When Kerry Carpenter hit that home run in Cleveland, did he have his eyes open or were they closed? Because when you're young and you're just hoping you're just going with the flow, they may have been closed. Right. You hit a bomb and it worked.
Yeah.
But when this is year 2, you can't close your eyes. You have to have them open and end up on the other side of the batter's box like Javi Baez. I'm not saying that's them, but I'm saying it could be an element of it. And to your point, somebody gave him a little nugget and he turned into a whole meal.
It's a really good point. Somebody said, stop talking about the World Series and the Super Bowl. Shut the blank up. Somebody else in the chat said, listen, all the Lions players were there last year too, Matt. Well, agreed. And we chastised the Lions players. We didn't say they were young. Who said they were young? When you've played in the NFC Championship game, when you've won 2 playoff games, why would I make that excuse? We never made that excuse. I'm talking about people using youth as the excuse right now. Yeah. Why is Jack Flaherty got a ring? Am I wrong?
No.
Did he win a ring with the Dodgers? Okay. He got a ring last year. Is that an excuse for him for giving up a 2-run bomb last night? Okay? Charlie Morton's got 2 rings, folks, and he got DFA'd. Mm-hmm. I just don't buy the youth part, and I think people are falling back on it. And I hope they don't use that as a comfy blanket to snuggle up with and say, we'll be back next year because last year we were young.
Here's another question, and no, I hope they don't use it as a comfy blanket. Who are the leaders that they can go to?
Thank you.
And I understand that Javi and all, but who are the leaders they can go to? Because that young stuff, it does wear off. You do have moments where you need a leader. You need someone to go to. Who the F are they going to? Who can they call on the phone?
Braylon.
Who are they going to in the dugout? Who are they having bad BP with?
Smart.
Who are they dialing in watching film with? What are the conversations being had?
100%.
Because if you don't have that person, now the youth, now the experience comes into play. If you don't have that person.
You were watching your son kick the crap out of a team in Ohio. Was one of the questions Ryan asked at the very end of our show. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I told Ryan off the air, I said, we're picking that up with Braylon. I didn't even need to have you go there. I didn't need to lead you there.
Great minds think alike.
That's my guy over there. Fire up chips.
Yeah, the word great can be overused. But here's the thing. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Yeah.
When they grabbed Javier Baez and they won a title with the Cubs, I told everybody who would listen, I like Javier Baez as a person. He's a nice enough guy. There are 3 other shortstops I wanted, but okay, so they got him. He's not a leader. He's not one of the guys you go to. It was hidden in Chicago with Lester and Rizzo and guys like that.
And no disrespect.
None.
You can be a good teammate and not be a leader.
Absolutely.
I just want you guys to know that. We're not saying he's a bad teammate. He's a great teammate.
Yeah.
He's just not a leader, is what Shep is saying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, the guys like him, okay? Yeah. He shows up early. He plays hard, all that other stuff. And I respect that. I really do. He's not the leader. Your question is excellent. Look at the other teams in the market. And I know right now Kool-Aid's going, holy crap, Shep, please get to a break in a minute. Look at the other teams in the market, okay? Kool-Aid.
Yes, sir.
Cade Cunningham's he's a good leader.
Happy birthday, Cade and Chauncey.
He grew as a leader last year. You could see the stuff that he was saying. There was a game in which Ron Holland got really pissed, and Cade Cunningham grabbed him, pulled him off to the side, and said, hey, man, in so many words, right? Hey, man, get it together. Don't be selfish. It's about the team. So the leadership was there. Tobias Harris is a good leader, all right? You can learn from guys like that. The Lions have a plethora of them. We know that. We don't have to go over that. The Red Wings leaders are good. I mean, Dylan Larkin's a good leader. I think Lucas Raymond could be a good leader. They can learn from Patrick Kane. They could learn from James Van Riemsdyk this year. Yeah. Maybe they learn from a guy like Jonathan Gibson. We'll see. The Tigers, you're looking for somebody, and I could be wrong here, but I don't think pitchers can be leaders. I had that argument with Justin Verlander years ago. Who is it? Who's taking the mantle? And that's...
AJ Hinch can't do everything.
Exactly.
AJ Hinch can't do it. Just like Scuba can't do everything. AJ Hinch can't everything. Yeah. He can't police the dugout. He can't police what you're doing when you guys aren't playing. He can't police what you're doing when you're traveling. Like, he can't be the one calling everybody out all the time because it gets stale. Like, say, oh my God, we're tired of you, AJ. Well, I'm tired of you striking out. I'm tired of you going up there with bases loaded. And Like, just things like that. With bases loaded, you had 2 people come up and go 3-pitch strikeouts, 3-pitch outs. Like, who's the guy that can be like, what the F are you doing? Because the good teams have those guys. Like, the good team have those guys. You come into the dugout, he'll sit you down. Yo, what's going on with you? What's up? That's unacceptable. Like, is everybody friends? Is everybody cool? You don't want to hurt anybody's feelings? Because if you have a bunch of guys like that, it leads to things like this. Let me ask you a question. You know what? I know you want to get to a commercial break.
Yeah,
the
we
little
probably
thing
do.
that happened, though, that it came out, they made a quick media mention about it, and then they never talked about it again. We've talked about it off air that happened with the Tigers. Is there other things going on around the organization that's distracting the whole?
Well, that's an excellent point. I don't think it affects the players.
Does it not?
But I don't know that. I don't know that. Randall Smolsky said there's no Kirk Gibson in there. You're right about that.
Shout out Randall.
Facts. Facts.
Yeah, I mean, I guess sometimes I worry about the emotional part of things because we all coach, we all parent, we all do things differently.
And we all love our city.
Yeah, absolutely. So do they need an ass chewer? Do they need somebody to kick them in the pants? Is that what people are looking for? I'm just asking. Is that the remedy for what's wrong? Because if that's what you're looking for, I don't know if you're going to get it.
Yeah.
I don't think they have somebody who does that.
Yeah, so this goes back to Scott Harris. Next time you're picking players, when you're looking at players to bring in, make sure they can't only play. Make sure they're not only out there hitting bombs, which or striking people out. Make sure they're guys that can lead. Make sure they're guys that have that element that have been talked about. Guys that you have vetted when you're going through the process, and that's what's coming back from them. And you know what? This guy also leads the dugout. He's leading the locker room. This is what he is. This is what comes with being. All right, this is what we need.
And even though I hope
A bunch of quiet guys doesn't work.
That's why they wanted Carlos Correa, I might add. Okay,
Ooh,
I'm not saying he would have been the difference, so don't
Right.
take it out of context. That's why they wanted Carlos Correa, because people went to him. Think about it for a minute. When everybody was yapping about Jose Altuve in the shirt, and they thought it was, which to me was kind of funny, but
Yeah. Don't get masks going.
who's the guy? Who's the guy who came out and defended him?
CC, no Chris Carter?
Right. He's the one who came out. It wasn't Alex Bregman. Bregman quiet. Well, he was no.
Exactly.
It was Carlos Correa. Now, whether you think it's right or not, the point is he's the guy who was willing to stand in front of everybody else, the media, and say, "Hey, leave my guy alone. He's the protector."
You know what? That part right there. He's able to understand when a teammate needs him.
Yeah.
Like, that's what a leader is. Whether it's for good or bad, whether I need to light a fire under you, whether I got to say something to you crazy and crash out on you, or whether I got to have your back, whether I got to show you some loyalty, whether I got to show you some love in a moment that you need it most. That's what a leader is. That's what a leader can do. And it doesn't have to be loud.
Yeah.
But it's just the fact that you do these things.
And Shep, you mentioned the good players versus the leaders. You talked about it as well, Bray. And when you mentioned those players, it's awesome to see that the Lions were able to draft those leaders too. And with Scott Harris, the hope here is the players that he's now identified, the young ones, are they going to be leaders? Because you look at the players we're depending on now, even though they're good players from probably the previous regime, they're not necessarily leaders. So I'm hoping that at least the future recipe has something more to do with identifying those types of players, because even when you talk about Cade, that was one of the reasons why they went after him.
But he had to
and the
learn that,
connectability.
right? He had to learn
Yep.
that. I think certain guys, and Braylon can speak to this, certain guys, it's just innate with them, all right?
Yeah.
I mean, Larry Bird was like that. Larry Bird's like, I'm not carrying anybody's God blessed bag, okay? I'm not putting water in your water bottle, okay? I'm here to play. I'm here to win. And everybody was like, oh, okay.
And then you go out there and start winning. You go out and start doing things, and then it's like, you know what? I'm just going to be quiet.
Back it up.
Because number 33 is that deal. You asked me about football versus baseball in terms of why we didn't get the Lions, the young excuse last year. It's because of the head man. And it's no knock to A.J. Hinch, because he's, if not the best skipper in the game, he's in the top 3. Football and baseball are different because the Lions operate to the beat of Dan Campbell's drum. Ever since he's been there, he's the guy. He's the guy they're listening to. He's the guy that's setting the tempo in practice, setting the tone in training camp, setting the tone to the media, setting the tone during the season. So they're operating like him. So although they're young, they're coaches, and the coach is a former player. So I think that kind of helps in football, maybe.
I think you're 100% right about that. I mean, we all know A.J. Hinch is, he does something similar. And, yes, he played in the pros. They all know that. Played for Team USA. Was a really good catcher. But I think you're absolutely right. Football is different than baseball. It's a tough example. But it's something that I think a lot of people are talking about right now. And I'm glad Ryan brought it up yesterday. I'm glad you brought it up generically.
That's a good point by
because
Ryan,
leadership how we measure it, how we look at it might be different, but I'm not sure there's a guy who is willing to do that the way Isaiah and Lambeer did back in the day, the way Draper and Chelios did it, and Darren McCarty, who sits in this seat a lot of times. Those guys are invaluable. They may not always be the best player. Like Darren McCarty wasn't the Red Wings' best player, but he's a pretty damn good leader. Chris Draper wasn't their best player, but he's a really good leader.
Yeah, 100%. You can look at Shohei Ohtani. Like, look, I think he's a cool dude, but is he a leader of the team? No. You can look at a Bryce Harper. If I ask everybody right now, is Bryce Harper a leader? Everybody would say yes. Yeah. Like, whether you like him or not, because a lot of people hate him, and that's fine. Yeah. He appreciates that. It drives him and gets him going. Yeah. But whether you like him or not, if I said, is he a leader, what is everybody going to say?
Yeah. And sometimes you grow into the position. Like somebody in the chat said, Cade was a leader in college. Stop. Well, but you would admit his first couple of years, especially when he was injured, it's tough to lead when you're like that. And when you're a rookie, you're still learning things. He leads differently now. Yeah. And I think it's blatantly obvious. We're late for a break, but it was a great conversation. One of the best leaders we know is Ven Johnson. And Ven Johnson loves to lead the way here on the Braylon Edwards Show.
63% of the people right now are going with Chris Ilitch as who's more to blame for the Tigers collapse. He might need Ven.
I thought Kool-Aid was going like this, and I just led to Ven Johnson. Kool-Aid starts to go here. Braylon looks at me like, what the hell's going on? And then Kool-Aid brings it right back to Braylon and tees it up for him. Well done.
Hold the chef.
Well, look, I'm going to tell you like this. So I'm going to disagree with the Chris Ilitch because he's not withholding any funds from any of his players. But Ven Johnson, he will make sure that you get all the money you need. Corporations, the government, even your insurance company will do whatever it can to minimize their liability and withhold your compensation. You work hard for your money. You work hard for your bread. The players work hard for their money, so you got to pay them. They want to get you paid, and the guy that do it for you will be Ven Johnson. When it goes wrong, you make sure that he is the first person you call. Not your mama, not your daddy, not your grandma, not your brother, not your uncle, not your wife, not your husband. It's Ven Johnson, because he's the one that's going to make it right for you. Get in contact with the fighter and let him fight for you. VenFights.com.
Here's what we got a chance to do tonight. You can watch the Tigers. I know there's a part of you screaming right now. And you can also watch the Thursday night football game. Dun, 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 dun. That's what you got. Seattle and Arizona.
Perfect, bro. I gotta let you know.
That is beautiful, isn't it? You got a chance to watch a couple of different things like that tonight, and you can do it at Art and Jake's Sports Bar and Grill. 80 TVs. I didn't stutter. 80 television sets. 22 beers on tap for you, and all kinds of additional specials. Like, for example, on Monday nights, if you ever go there for the Monday night game like you did last week watching the Lions beat up the Ravens, it was ribs night. There are different nights that they like to celebrate things. They want to make sure you're enjoying your time. Like tonight, it'll be, $5 Nutris, and you got 16-ounce Bud Lights in Detroit Lions cans for only $3.50. So take advantage of it. Download the Art and Jake's download their app, and join AJ's fan club, making every game day a winning day.
Planet Fitness now has even more best-in-class strength equipment. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new faith, new focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. VenFights.com.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shaq Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce. your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports. Head to WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com. Ever wonder what goes on inside the game?
Deep ball's got a man and got him. Touchdown, Braylon Edwards.
Join Braylon Edwards and Shep.
Edwards has it. 10-5, touchdown.
On the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Ball looks in zone. Got Edwards for the touchdown.
Where they dive deep into the heart of sports. Weekdays from 2 to 4 p.m., they're bringing you expert analysis, exclusive interviews, and a fresh perspective on the sports you love. Don't miss it, only on the Woodward Sports Network.
Central, with over 50 metropolitan and Detroit locations, Planet Fitness is the gym for you. And let me tell you like this. It's people that are starting their new journey that we want to talk about. Come on in, start your journey. We want to be a part of it because there's no judgment at Planet Fitness. And also, it's a fitness that fits into your price point because we're not trying to charge you an arm and a leg. We're just trying to make sure they look good for all those watching. Planet Fitness, it can get you right, man. There's no judgment. There's clean locker rooms. In fact, squeaky clean locker rooms. And then there's a trainer with every membership that you could possibly purchase. So come on down to Planet Fitness. We're not judging you. We're just waiting.
So you said judgment twice. Judge, I think Aaron Judge, 2 homers last night. He's got 50 and 51
Still's
on the
not
year.
gonna win MVP.
Unbelievable. Just because Cal Raleigh had
Big
2
dumper.
home runs. The Big Dumper's got 11 multi-homer games this year.
Is 12 the record?
11. That's tied the record.
Okay, 12 would break the record.
12 would break the
would love
record.
that on the Tigers.
The other guys who had 11 multi-homer games in a season, Babe Ruth,
MVP.
Sammy Sosa,
MVP.
Hank Greenberg.
MVP.
1938. That's all good stuff. Just like I'm telling you right now, Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea is really good stuff. Real vodka, real iced tea, no bubbles, just a clean, crisp sip. Braylon's asking for one right now, but he's got to hold on. Only 100 calories, 4.5% alcohol. It's perfect. I mean, it is perfect for tailgates. It's perfect to watch a game tonight. It's Thursday. We're at the end of the week. Check out the Tigers taking on the Guardians tonight. Check out the Thursday night football game with Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea and Woodward Sports.
And we back.
Now, we talked about the Tigers and the collapse. Okay, that's easy to do when you've losing 8 straight and you lose 10 of 11 and the other team has to play really well. I would just remind you, and this doesn't help any of us right now, the Mets on June 12th were 45-24. They had the best record in the majors. The Mets did. Since that time, they are 35-54. And they are trying to hold on to a wild card spot. All I'm saying is we're not alone. It's also a good way to bridge the gap until Braylon gets back in the seat and gives us what we really want. And that is Braylon's breakdown.
Look, man, I had to make sure the clip was right, man. Ryan and I had to work on it. Ryan got it right. So here we are. I teased you earlier with my son's game. Now we're going to get to the main event. We got 3 highlights for you today. We got one is the Jameson Williams route. I want to talk about that. Jameson Williams. Then on the second one, we'll talk about the defensive stop where Lamar Jackson fumbled on the 4th and 2, and then we'll do the Dave Montgomery run. But we'll start here. The reason why I want to highlight this is just talking about J-Mo. Protection is great across the board. We'll talk about that. Everybody does what they're supposed to do. But I'm just happy that J-Mo is turning more into a wide receiver, running routes, understanding concepts. You can tell he's been working with number 14. Now watch the route. Up top, it's cover 2. Cover 2, the DB is designed to push the wide receiver inside. The reason why that can hurt the wide receiver on this play is because if he gets too far inside, Jared Goff will not have a window to throw to. Hit play. All right, J-Mo gets inside. You see the DB, try to funnel him inside, hit play. What J-Mo does is a good job, and we'll see it on the next copy. All right, Kez, go back one last time just so they can see him seam release, and then we'll go to the back copy. All right, I just want you to see J-Mo in this copy. All right, here we go. Seam releases on the cover 2 DB, hit play, and he kicks back out. Now go to the back copy. I'll show you why that makes sense. You see this zone right here? See this hole? Hit play, hit pause. So he's seaming over here. DB's pushing him in. J-Mo does an amazing job of pushing back out. He gets, is this the only other copy we had? We got one. The other one had, you can see J-Mo. All right, hit play on this. Let me see this one. Hit play on this one. Oh, yeah, this is the one right here. So J-Mo avoids the press, gets in, hit play. Now watch him widen it back out. He goes back outside the numbers. Then he comes in this window very soft. Go back to that. Go back to that. This is work right here. J-Mo wasn't doing this last year. Coming in, getting friendly, staying soft so he doesn't creates the space, pulls the safety this way, because now the safety thinks J-Mo's taking off.
He's opened his hips.
100%. Safety's getting ready to take off. Oh, shoot. J-Mo's going deep. He runs for 2. I got to get out of here. Linebacker is now, what is he doing because of this? He's widening over just ever so much. Look at Jared Goff selling it with the eyes. By the way, look at the protection. Big guys up front. We said they couldn't block in week 1. Boy, did they fix that. Jared Goff, nice clean pocket, taking his time, selling the linebacker, selling the safeties. Now what are they doing over there? They're going that way because they're not in the play. And look what happens. J-Mo sells it, hit play, gets down. Now look at the window. Now look at the throw by 16. Rewind it.
Man, right over the line.
Look at the dot by 16. Sells him that. Sells him right here. He's got the eyes. The whole time he knows he's dropping this ball. Just over Ruben's Roquan's right shoulder. Hit play. And then look at that dot. The thing that's so perfect about that pass is watch Roquan Smith's reaction when he realizes he's been duped. Like what? He feels like he's in the play. Rewind it just a little bit more. He feels like he's in the play right now. Okay, cool. I'm about to make a play. Jared Goff about to do what he does in Baltimore, throwing interceptions. They said he can't throw outside. I'm waiting for it. All right, throw me the ball, Jared Goff. Hit play. And watch him. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. Nothing I can do about it. Hell of a job by everybody in the play. Go to the next play. Now, this play is called the Jack Campbell play.
This one is so good. I mean, you're going to learn so much on this play. You can go through every single defensive player. Wait till we see this.
So this is called the Jack Campbell play. We understand what happens. Jack Campbell, he rushes. He gets the fumble. Lamar picks it up. Loss of 18 on the play. No touchdown, turnover, as a matter of fact. But everybody has something to do with it. Great job by Kelvin Shepard to design this play. Here we go. Hit play and let it run until pause. This is going to be a 3-play go. This is a 3-way go. You want Lamar to run it in. You want Mark Andrews to come off. We all know this famous play because Mark Andrews did what in the playoffs? He dropped it on the 2-point conversion. And or you want, Zay Flowers to run across the back pylon. And then if you can get to your 4th read, which only 2 or 3 quarterbacks in the league can do, which he's one of, Rashad Bateman is going to come back on the back against Terry Arnold. This play is designed so well. You see the push from the big fella. This is a late stunt. He's pushing everybody this way, and it's a man-to-man play. I'll show you what you get. Hit play. All right, hit play right now. Let's take it back. My apologies. I got excited. Take it back. Now I can break the play down. Brian Branch is the first one on this play that you need to watch. Brian Branch has Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers is a 4-3 guy. We know he's fast. We know he's shifty. This is who he really wants. He wants him back there. Watch the coverage of the guy that they said couldn't cover. Or the guy that they said struggled in coverage, which is why he went in the 2nd round. Brian Branch in the slot right here. Hit play. Boom, boom. He's reading it. He's reading it. He sees it. Stays behind him. Plays it front. Hit play. Got a little handsy. Guess what? Ref didn't call it, so I don't care. Stays with him. Now Lamar knows I can't go there. Dead option. Lamar is now trying to look at Mark Andrews. Maybe because of what happened last year, he doesn't trust Mark Andrews, or maybe because he sees that it's 3-on-1, which means 2 on him. I'm not going to take him, and he got guys charged to hit play. Now, Alex Anzalone, you ask, why is he over there? Why is Derrick Henry wide open on the back? Hit play, hit rewind. Man, Derrick Henry is not open on the back. This is, man, here we go. Alex Anzalone, his job is 22. Mr. Fumbleitis. Here we go. Hit play. Once Alex Anzalone sees Lamar commits to this side, now you got an extra man. You got Jack Campbell, who was assigned to Lamar, Alex Anzalone, who now doesn't have to worry about 22, he's on Lamar. And DJ Reed is the spy for Lamar down here in the red zone. DJ Reed is your spy.
So it wasn't one of the linebackers.
It wasn't one of the linebackers. Jack Campbell's man is Lamar. However, the spy is DJ Reed. Hit play. Now, what did I tell you they should not do? Stay disciplined in the pass lanes and do what? Don't leave your feet. Use your arms. We talked about this. Watch what Jack Campbell does. It's very deceptive. He doesn't leave his feet. He doesn't jump off the ground and give Lamar a three-way go or two-way go. He hits him with the Kenny Pickett fake slide. But instead, it's the fake jump. Now, rewind it a little bit. Why? It's oh, I'm coming. No, I'm not. I'm still coming. Here we go. Hit play. That was funny. I know you're going to give me for that later.
It's that head.
Hit play. Watch that. Puts his hands up, confuses him, but never really leaves his feet. Hit play. And it's right there. DJ jumps, but it's all good. It works out. DJ jumps, but all good. It works out. And you got everybody on everybody. You got Kirby, guard, Mark Andrews.
Everything locked
And
up.
look at what Terrian, who they talk about a lot. You got Terrian guard and Rashad Bateman, who was not open based on the coverage. And then Brian Branch, what he did. Hey, this is an excellent job. Everybody all the way around. Rewind it all the way back.
When we were talking about this earlier, you made it a point to talk about the D tackles.
So the
to
D
make sure
tackle's
they're
job is
collapsing.
it's a late stunt for Jack Campbell, Kirby, and then a freeing Alex Anzalone. You'll see the big man, they push the line this way. They take this collapsed offensive line so the lines can't come up, free up, and do the song or dance when Lamar's trying to go left and right and all the things. They push them down. They shut that off. Now you have a bunch of free guys. You got a bunch of free defenders coming after Lamar Jackson. Hit play. Watch how they just collapse the line. Boom. Takes it. Here we go. Takes the whole offensive line in here, including Tyler Lindenbaum, one of the best in the game. Go. And now you got what you got. Yeah. To see Lamar look like this, just look so confused in this space which Lamar owns. Like to see him look this confused and just have nowhere to go with the ball, to have nobody to throw the ball to have nowhere to run, to not be able to make a Lamar Jackson play. Like, this is outstanding. This is outstanding. Kelvin Shepard designed a hell of a defensive play. He put him in a great position. He was ready for 4th and 2. And not only did he do that, you got 11 guys executing. 11 guys executing. That's why they're my defensive fantasy.
Yeah, we usually don't see Lamar Jackson get hit behind the line of scrimmage and stay down. Like Jack Campbell, his ability to wrap up the anticipation, and as you pointed out last week, don't leave your feet when it's Lamar Jackson against you is perfect.
Everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing. What they did with him, like usually you'll see Lamar still be able to get to the line of scrimmage. You'll see Lamar be able to get to getting out of bounds. You'll see Lamar be able to throw a ball out of the end zone. They put him in a situation where he couldn't do anything. They had their hands up. They were in their rush lanes. They double teamed well. They got off the guys that they were on when they were supposed to. They covered the guys they were supposed to. This is an excellent job. Like this right here is, you talk about Super Bowl, like this is how you get there. Like plays like this is how you get there. Last play. All right, for you guys that want to talk about the run game, the offense, touchdowns, here we go. Yeah. Speaking of another coordinator that they said, could he fill the shoes? Could he come and provide offensive, what's the word I was looking for, congruency? Well, here you go. This is the inside zone running scheme that I was talking about. They're going to start with a chip on the nose tackle. You're going to get a chip on the nose tackle by Christian Mahogany, as well as, not Christian Mahogany, Graham Glasgow
and Tate Ratledge.
And Tate Ratledge. Hit play. Go back. All right, hit play. Here we go. First thing we're going to give a shout out to, play a little bit. Watch the physicality of Graham Glasgow. We talk so much stuff about Graham Glasgow week 1 in terms of he has to be more physical at the point of attack. He's the center. The calls have to go left and right, and it starts with him. Well, he hurt us in the last 2 games. He's physical, ladies and gentlemen. Hit play. Just let it run for a second. Just watch him for a second. Just getting physical. Gets the chip on the guard, go back. Gets the chip on the nose tackle and gets to the linebackers. His job is to chip, go back. All right, here we go. His job is to chip, and he's instantly looking to get to the linebacker. Quick chip, get to the linebacker. Look what he does. He chips, leaves him over there with Tate, go through, gets matched up right on the linebacker. He can hit play. Gets on the linebacker. Then Panay Sewell comes off. You know he's going to do it. Just look at this zone hole. Panay drives. Roquan Smith. You got Tate driving out 40. Or Graham Glasgow. Then you got Kyle Hamilton. Kyle Hamilton is the point person on this play. If Kyle Hamilton comes in the box, if Kyle Hamilton is in the box, Dave Montgomery is going to take this outside. If Kyle Hamilton stays on the outside, Dave Montgomery is going to find his own read, which is this hole right here. Hit play. Kyle Hamilton goes down, and then look what Dave Montgomery sees. Just look at all of this space. Dave Montgomery does not get touched, hit play. First time he gets touched, it's 10 yards down the field. 10 yards down the field. Rewind it one last time.
Does Graham Glasgow call that blocking scheme
100%.
At the line of scrimmage?
That's on him, based on what these guys do.
Based on what they look.
100%.
Okay.
Wide receivers getting in on the action. Watch this. Who said Khalif Raymond was just a returner? Who said Khalif Raymond was just a small guy? See, we all thought it was Amon-Ra St. Brown that made that hit on Kyle Hamilton. Watch Kyle Hamilton. Your motion man, that's Khalif Raymond. Watch who hits Kyle Hamilton. Hit play. Bah. That's Khalif Raymond. This is Khalif Raymond getting a hat on a hat with the number one safety in football. He doesn't care about that. He's doing his job. Hit play. I thought it was Khalif that was supposed to block Marlon Humphreys, which Marlon Humphreys ends up making the play. Khalif blocked Kyle Hamilton. Amon-Ra St. Brown got caught off guard because it was such a great
examples right there.
Proof is in the pudding. And then I showed you a guy that's trying to get better. J-Mo had those 2 passes on the first 2 drives. And guess what he's doing the rest of the game? Hit play. Hit play. All it takes is just a little bit. All it takes is just a little bit. That's all you need. This is what Dave Montgomery wants to see. He wants to see the back of the wide receiver's jersey, because that means the wide receivers push the DB or whoever the hell he's blocking the other way. And now this is what he sees. I got the big fella and I got the little big fella doing their job. Ladies and gentlemen, 70 yards later, play.
Beautiful.
That's all you got to do. That's all he did. That's all you need.
That's considered a good block.
It's a great block.
Wide receiver. Yeah.
I'm counting those yards after contact.
Yeah.
Like they were. And so here's Marlon Humphrey. If he gets covered in the beginning, it's a touchdown.
Well, can you take it back just for a minute, Ryan, please?
Yeah.
Because you were a track guy.
I was a
Marlon
track
Humphrey sure looks like he's a track guy too.
He is.
Because he gets caught up in the wash there. But look at the amount of
ground he covers.
Yeah, he covers a lot with a long stride.
Yeah, but this also starts too, though. Like,
so explain what you were telling me earlier about the running.
All right, so go all the way back. Look where he starts 7 yards back. Yeah. So when he starts running, hit play. I'll start counting. He's already been running for 7 yards, 12 yards. By the time Marlon Humphreys actually starts to run and starts to take it serious, he's already been running for 13, 14, maybe 15 yards.
That's championship television, streaming, radio, whatever you want to call it. That is championship stuff, man. That is unbelievable stuff. I just love it, and I hope people in the chat do as well. It sure seems like it. That is Braylon's breakdown on a regular basis.
I was excited.
At least once a week. It's fantastic.
I was excited for this one, and because, when we break down the Jack Campbell play, or when I went to look at the videos given, I thought that Jack Campbell play was one thing. I thought there was, a player or two that I would talk about, most notably him. You start watching that play, everybody's doing their job. Everybody is dialed into what the play call was and how to execute perfectly. And then the same thing on offense. So when football is like this, I don't care what position you play, it's fun. It's just exciting and it's engaging. That was championship football this past Monday, but now it's time for them to forget about it because the next week it starts tonight.
It'll be a hell of a test, I think, against Cleveland.
I think so too.
I don't know if people are alert to this. I'm sure they have done some research, but just to help you out, the Browns have held every one of their opponents to under 250 yards so far this year. They played the Bengals with Joe Burrow, by the way, and outgained them 327 to 141. They lost the game, but the defense was really good. They played the Ravens in week 2 and got blown out by the score of 41-17. They're the only team to ever hold Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry combined for less than 100 yards rushing in a game. So they got screwed because of their special teams and because their offense wasn't very good. Okay, they lost a fumble. They gave up the block punt. There was an interception. Ravens had 3 scoring drives of less than 25 yards. Yeah. So this is why sometimes numbers, I think, can be really misleading.
How many rushing yards did he have against the Lions? Henry and Lamar together, under 100. Henry was 50. Henry was 56.
Yeah.
And Lamar, I had him on my fantasy. I don't think he. I don't think he cracked 40.
I'll search it up.
Yeah, search that up for us. Yeah. If that's the case, then the Lions become the second team to ever do that. So thank you for that. Yeah. And then last week, the Browns beat the Packers. They gave up 230 yards to Green Bay in that stunning upset. And I know how people are looking at it with the 3 scoring drives in the final under 5 minutes and the game-winning field goal. Point is, Green Bay's got a pretty good offense. We saw it week 1. And Cleveland's defense rose to that proverbial occasion. It's not going to be easy to move the ball against those guys, I wouldn't think.
Nah, man, this is the NFL, man. You're starting to see week by week, it is the NFL. Any given Sunday, things can happen. I think you'll see with the Cleveland Browns, their defensive line is real. Their defense in general is real. They come to play. Jim Schwartz, he's
good.
This is what he does.
Yeah.
He's damn good as a defensive coordinator, and he's got those guys playing. And they're playing, which for Cleveland seems interesting, they're playing together.
Yeah.
That's one thing about Cleveland. They haven't been a together team, whether it was due to the locker room, whether it was due to coaching, whether it was due to ownership, whether it's just due to the moves of the people in their locker room. But that defense looks real, and that's one of the things we talked about before the season is the D-lines that the Lions will play in the first 6 weeks. And this is one of the ones I highlighted. They got a rookie Michigan guy down there that had to warn about being in Ohio. Side note, you saw I had my Michigan stuff on in Ohio.
I was about to say that too.
I don't play that.
Hey, Braylon.
That's good stuff. By the way, just real quick, let me finish it and then go, Ryan. 2.3 yards per rushing attempt against the Cleveland defense. That's it. And they are 3rd in the league in sacks. So that defense, to your point, is real. Go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, a couple numbers. Braylon, I'm glad there's some toughness in Ohio with your son being down there. I know they lack it a little bit.
Yeah.
But in the Lions game, Derrick Henry, 50 yards. Lamar Jackson, 35 rushing yards.
Ooh,
so
they
held him to 85. Nice. And to your Mason Graham point, I saw this. Mason Graham, 43% pass rush win rate against the Packers, and the average for a D tackle is 9%. Braylon, where did he go to school, by the way?
Let's go blue.
It's interesting when they made that pick, Ryan and everybody. I think there were a lot of people who were critical of it, and I remember some early impressions from Cleveland camp that Mason Graham really isn't all that. Mm-hmm. He's been a wrecking ball so far for the Browns. He's been really good.
I just don't understand anyone that said that he wasn't that, and maybe whatever that was. Like Mason Graham is that. Like he is the reason with another guy too that Michigan beat Ohio State and still one of the most confusing wins that I've ever seen with my own 2 eyes. Like he is that good. He's one of the best defensive linemen ever come to Michigan, and we've had some studs.
Yeah. Like Kenneth Grant was good too.
That's why I said another guy, Kenneth Grant. Yeah. He's a stout stud in there. And at the end of the day, when you're talking about a Myles Garrett, if you're talking about a T.J. Watt, if you're talking about a Aiden Hutchinson, for those guys to be the best that they can be, you got to have guys on the outside. You got to have guys in the middle. Got to have guys in the middle. Cam Hayward, does that ring a bell?
Yes, it does.
He's been there every single one of T.J. Watt's MVPs. I'm just saying.
They all help each other.
They do.
That's the beauty of what football really is. It is the ultimate team sport without question. We do have a poll question up right now in the chat. Kool-Aid invites you to vote on that as often as you can. We'll give you an update on that. There is also a very surprising list from some established people within the National Football League that I think has Detroit a little bit lower than they should be in one specific category. We will get to that coming up on the Braylon Edwards Show. Don't forget, right around 3:40 or so, Dr. Jeffrey Pierce will join us to talk about injuries, who might be in, who might be out in certain things. And, of course, we got the mailbag. We always want that from you 10 minutes before the top of the hour. Les Stanford Buick and GMC has great offers for everybody. If you're in the market for a new car, if you're ready to lease or you're ready to buy, the inventory is immense for lease or buy at Les Stanford Buick and GMC. They got the Hummer EV SUT. The lease special is $599. The Lyric SUV lease special is $489. And then don't forget the Equinox. It'll save you some money, $229 a month for the 2025 Equinox EV. Again, massive inventory, good people to help you into the budget and the car / SUV that you need and will help you get from A to B. It's the Les Stanford Buick and GMC. Check out their website, lesstanford.com.
Man, I got a car wash on Wednesday and got it detailed, got it nice and running. I told you guys about it. Wanted it nice and shiny, get it nice and clean for when I headed down to Cleveland. And guess what it did? The whole drive to Cleveland, it rained. And it rained about 20, 30% of the way back as well. But you know the cool thing about it is for $29.99 a month, I have an unlimited plan. You know what it allows me to do? You guessed it. Get car washes every single day, so it didn't matter that it rained yesterday. And it won't matter for you. We'll start off by getting you a free car wash. WSN 888-522-1729. Again, that's text WSN2 888-522-1729. Look, you know what it is. They have all the things. They do all the things. That's just the car wash for you, man. Why don't you pull up and remember, the unlimited package is the way to go.
Ever wonder what goes on inside the game?
Deep ball's got a man and got him. Touchdown, Braylon Edwards.
Join Braylon Edwards and Shep.
Edwards has it. 10, 5, touchdown.
On the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Ball looks in zone. Got Edwards for the touchdown.
Where they dive deep into the heart of sports. Weekdays from 2 to 4 p.m., they're bringing you expert analysis, exclusive interviews, and a fresh perspective on the sports you love. Don't miss it, only on the Woodward Sports Network. Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shep Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
The Super Bowl parade in Detroit will be one for the record books. Detroit just does it different. Woodward Sports, your official Super Bowl or bust Lions network. Head to woodwardsports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. Woodwardsports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at woodwardsports.com. Hunting season is almost here, Detroit, and your Lions are on the prowl. Make sure you're locked into Woodward Sports for all the Dan Campbell reactions, Jared Goff touchdowns, Amon-Ra first downs, Penny pancakes, Kirby picks, Gibbs big plays, and of course, Jack Fox's leg. Stay locked in on all your Lions coverage right here on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Dr. Jeff Pierce, Michigan Sports and Spine, and he's in the studio today. Well, he'll be through VMix, but we will have him in. We'll have some conversations. Michigan Sports and Spine, they get it done. Let him diagnose you. Bring him all your ailments, all your concerns, and they can tell you what it is, or he can tell you what it is. He'll get you right, or he'll get you to where you need to be. Much like Dan Campbell, he knows he's not the smartest man in the room, but the only difference is he is, and he will get you right. He sent me over around the corner and got my shoulder together and just been feeling good, feeling great. Let him get you right as well. His team is amazing, and they want to help you. 248-426-9944. Scan our QR code above my head and let Dr. Pierce work for you.
Speaking of amazing, Sharon's Heating and Air Conditioning, pretty amazing in their own right. They may not be doctors, but they do know everything that you need an expert to know about heating and cooling and indoor air quality and water heaters and whole home generators, all that stuff. They've been doing it for well over 40 years here in the great state of Michigan. They want to take care of you like they take care of their longtime customers. They treat them just like family. And right now, if you're a DTE gas customer, you get a free, that's right, I said free, furnace tune-up through December 1st. Call Sharon's Heating and Air Conditioning today. The phone number's right there on the screen, 734-238-3839. That's 734-238-3839. Or scan the QR code and tell them the Braylon Edwards Show sent you.
And we back.
When you think of the National Football League, and when you think of the Detroit Lions, what's the first thing you think of?
I know where you're going, so I'm not going to say it. You talking about person?
I'm talking about anything.
How
like
good
the culture.
How good the talent is. How
Yeah.
good they've been drafted. How the contracts. How they take care of them on time.
A lot of positives, right?
A lot of positives.
Right. So a lot of it starts from the front office, I would guess. The Athletic came out with what I would consider a pretty interesting and debatable poll, of which they took a lot of the executives in the National Football League. They took head coaches and executives across the league, and they asked them to vote on the best front offices. The best National Football League front offices. We have that, right? We have that for coming up. Okay. So what do you think? Let's just do top 10. Okay? If I gave you the leeway to do that, where would you go with it? What's the first team you would look to?
Eagles.
The Eagles.
Just about to say that.
Yeah, I would agree with that. They went first place votes, second place votes, third, fourth, and fifth, and then they totaled it up. All right? How you could vote for the Eagles being fourth or fifth, I have no idea.
Yeah.
They're no worse than top 3. They received 11 first place votes. No other team received more. That makes sense. They also received 7 second place votes. No other team received more. And they received 3 third place votes. So the Eagles were number 1. Now, I want you to keep in mind, this is not necessarily just about last year. Okay? This takes into account what they've been able to build. All right? This is players on the field. This is culture within their organization. This is front office scouting, everything that's associated with it.
Yeah.
29 general managers, head coaches, and executives polled. Right. So the Eagles are 1. Who do you think is 2?
Rams.
Chiefs. I would say Chiefs, Rams, and Ravens. They should be in that order.
Yeah, I would have said the Chiefs as well. It's the Ravens.
I don't have a problem.
The Ravens are 2. They got 9 first place votes, 6 second place votes, 4 third place votes, 3 in the 4th spot, 2 in the 5th spot. So they finished 14 points behind Philadelphia.
I don't have a problem with that at all, considering the front office, they can lead you to water. They can't make you drink.
Yeah, Eric DeCosta's done a
It's
great
the players and the coaches that can't close the deal. So, yes, I like the Ravens.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
Ryan said the Rams.
Yeah, I said the Rams.
Yeah.
I like that guess. I think the Rams are a top 5. They are 3.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, so they've done a really good job.
You don't like them at 3?
I do. I said I think they're top 5. I would have put Kansas City ahead of them. I would have put Baltimore ahead of them.
I like the Rams, and I think for them, the reason why I like them is the fact that 3.5 years ago, Les Snead had the phrase "F them picks," and he used that to switch all the picks around, send things to Detroit, send things other places. He picked up Jalen Ramsey, he picked up Matthew Stafford along the way, and then they win a Super Bowl. He then proceeds to have Aaron Donald retire, a bunch of foolishness happen, and then it only took him 2 seasons or a season to turn around and get back good, and the Rams are still a top team in the NFC. So I want to look at it from that lens. That's why I like them. But to your point, like Kansas City, they got 3. They've been to 5.
Yeah. Sean McVay, I think, is part of that. Okay, I don't know how much responsibility he and Les Snead share.
That's a front office hire, though.
But yeah, that's something. Andy Reid and Brett Veach work in combination too.
Veach has just struggled in the draft the last couple of years, and I think that's why they're down. Because if this conversation was 2 years ago, Chiefs are number 1, and the Eagles are number 2, maybe even 3 at that time. But now you flip-flop it, and you see how their drafting has affected them, how they struggle with some of their top draft picks, how they've had to move off some players fast soon, and these are first-round picks. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Xavier Worthy, what's he going to be? I know he's injured, but what is he as a player? He's had a lot of misses. in the last 2 years, I think that's why they've fallen down. Because they did win 15 games last year and went to the Super Bowl. But I think it's that stuff that people are paying attention
It's fair enough. Eagles, Ravens, Rams. Number 4, the Bills. So the Bills and what they've been able to do on a pretty regular basis, I'm sure Sean McDermott, again, has something to do with Brandon Beane. I hope it has nothing to do with, the television show, on HBO, Hard Knocks. But I thought it does give you a good window into how they work together, and it's obviously working for Buffalo. But they've got Buffalo at number 4. So number 5, they got Kansas City. So a little lower than I probably would have rated them, but they've got Kansas City at 5. You notice I haven't hit the Lions yet. Number 6, they have Tampa. What do you think about that? That's a little controversial, I think, for a lot of people.
I don't have a problem with it once again because what was this? 4 years ago, what did they do? No, 1, 2, 3,
Won a
4.
Super Bowl with
4
Tom
years,
Brady.
but not even about. They went out and got Tom Brady.
Yeah.
They went out and got Tom Brady. They bring Tom Brady in. They went and got Rob Gronkowski. They did all the things that Tom wanted and helped him. Maybe you give Tom some credit too, but they did that. Tom retires after having 3 really good seasons. Him, maybe not the team so much. And then what happens? They bring in Baker Mayfield. They started drafting well. They added pieces like Elijah Cansey. You bring in Emeka Egbuka this year. They won the division 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
And this is after everybody thought it was going to fall apart because the GOAT retired. So just looking at it through that lens, that's pretty respectful.
I agree. Even before the GOAT got there, Jason Licht was 34-62. His winning percentage was 35.5%.
Yeah.
He got a long runway
Yeah.
at that job.
True. Because it's Florida. It's Tampa.
Perhaps.
It's Tampa.
Yeah. So there you go, Tampa at 6. You think the Lions are next?
Nope.
7 is the Packers.
It's going to piss a lot of Lions fans off.
And probably rightfully so. Is it justified?
They went and picked up Josh Jacobs last year. I thought that was a big pickup. They pick up Micah Parsons before the season starts this year. You know how that affected the division, the shakeup of that. You replace Aaron Rodgers with Jordan Love, and however you feel about Jordan Love.
Xavier McKinney is a really
Xavier
good pickup.
McKinney. You went and got Xavier McKinney from
that's what I'm
New
saying.
York Giants.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. That was an acquisition that you made.
First rounders have been pretty good. Van Ness and Walker, pretty good.
Yeah, 100%. Lucas Van Ness, Quay Walker. Then you had some guys that left, actually. There were some pretty good players as well that you had to trade away for Micah Parsons. These are some players that you drafted, some good
Kenny
players.
Clark,
Are they holding on to the Super Bowl they won in 2010?
Perhaps.
Because everybody you name has won a Super Bowl with the exception of the Bills. Like everybody on here has won a Super Bowl within the last. When did the Green Bay Packers win? 10? So 15, everybody's won in 15 years.
When was Baltimore's? Yeah.
13.
Yeah.
Well, so everybody won in 17, 12 years.
Yeah.
No,
But
15.
they have won a Super Bowl. Is your point?
They won one, yeah. So I think that's why they're holding on to Green Bay.
So you're right. The Eagles, the Ravens, the Rams, the Bills, not the Bills, okay? Kansas City, the Buccaneers, the Packers have all won Super
And the Bills have I text you that. The Bills have the best quarterback in the league per your measurement and per a lot of people's measurement. So they got the guy. He's MVP.
Right.
Yeah.
So at 8, you think this is where the Lions come in?
Seattle.
It's not. It's Seattle.
I mean,
once again,
Super Bowl, been to.
How far back?
They had the Lions numbers for a while.
Yeah.
That's another one. That's 2013.
Yeah. How far do you go back?
Yeah.
That's the thing I wonder out loud. I'm not
Legion
saying
of Boom.
I would have Detroit ahead of that, but maybe there's some bias there. So feel free to throw some arrows. That's fine. But they've got Seattle at 8.
Yeah, Detroit's better than them. Detroit's ahead of them. I don't understand. I do know their GM was Schneider, Ryan Schneider.
John Schneider. Yeah.
John Schneider. He was there when I was there. Brought me in. So cool guy. He gets it. But they've just been kind of treading water. They've been drafting well.
Mm-hmm.
Like they've drafted well. They brought in some pieces. But they've been if you want to give them credit for moving off Russell Wilson and collecting a bounty from the Denver Broncos, then by all means add that to the equation. But I wouldn't put them above the Lions.
Yeah, there was a time where they went out and gave Matt Flynn a lot of money.
I was there.
That was a long time ago.
And
right?
they never played him.
Yeah, and they're right. Really? Maybe because he didn't deserve to play. So anyway, so they're at number 8, and then it's the Lions at number 9. Where should the Lions be positioned? Because and here's the surprising thing. Not that they didn't get any first-place votes. I wouldn't have expected that.
Yeah.
All right? I would have expected, if you're looking at 29, I suppose if the Bucks or Bills get 1 or 2, and the Bucks got 2 and the Bills got 1, why couldn't somebody have voted for Detroit? That doesn't disappoint me as much as the fact that only 2 people thought they were second, 2 people thought they were third, 3 people thought they were fourth, 4 people thought they were fifth. So they got the same number of points, if you will, as the Seahawks. Are we too sensitive because we have seen such a bad product for an extended period of time, and now we're seeing a really good one, and we want everybody else to take notice like we do?
I don't have a problem with the list outside of the Seahawks, and I think the Bills too. To be honest, I know they got Josh Allen now, but I think they've done better. The Bills have had a bunch of people that they paid that have resulted in nothing. How many guys did they pay on that defensive side of the ball in the last 5 years don't even play there anymore? Mm-hmm. How much money are they on the hook for? So I don't like that. But I just think people are sensitive here because I think the same reasons why, you talk about the players that Brad Holmes has made, that he's drafted, things that they've done, and look at the players, and look at the numbers, and look at where we've gone to where we are. Mm-hmm. But the other side of Brad Holmes that we complain about is what we're conveniently forgetting about in a ranking like this: the moves he has not made, the things he has not done, the players that he has drafted, the free agents that he has brought in that have been injured, that continuously get injured, that hurt you during the season. Now, it hasn't hurt us in the last 2 games. Mm-hmm. But I think things like that, they stack up against you. And then when you add the final caveat, which is no Super Bowl, I think that's how you get pushed down to 8. That's more so what it is. No Super Bowl, and the things that we talk about that, dang, why won't he do this? Why won't he do that? Or, I would have gone here. Or you see how this reflected. I think those things, they're hyping up a little bit more than we are.
I think if there's a team that has a legitimate gripe, more so than Detroit, it would be San Francisco.
Yeah.
Okay. San Francisco is listed on this top list below the Lions. And if they're doing this on Woodward Sports in San Francisco, first of all, it's not as good because it doesn't have Braylon's breakdown. But second of all, they're complaining that they're behind the Lions and just ahead of the Texans. Because John Lynch has done a really good job there. Now, they were besieged by injuries last year. Yeah. They've drafted well. They've acquired well. Hello, Christian McCaffrey.
And
they've developed well.
They've also moved off some players well. They've also moved off
when a lot of people were scratching their heads about that.
It was, I'm going. You go. And it worked out in their favor.
And it's worked out in their favor, yeah. So I think they're the team that has the most legitimate gripe right now.
Yeah.
But, that's the fun thing about it. Hey, you want to update the poll question, Kool-Aid, and see where folks are at regarding
yes, sir.
some
and
of the controversy?
Yeah, and I wound up ending the poll as well. The people, they closed that gap, actually. It wound up being a little bit closer than the prior, I think, 73% for Chris Ilitch. It wound up being 58% of the blame for Chris Ilitch, 42% of the blame for Scott Harris.
What do you want Chris Ilitch to do, out of curiosity? And this isn't me defending Chris Ilitch. This is just asking a simple question. What is it that you would like Chris Ilitch to do?
They want him to spend money.
But was he trying to spend money, or
dollar bills, y'all?
So as I've
said,
last
offseason, didn't he offer the money to the player that people wanted, and
yes.
didn't he offer the bag that?
Yeah. They offered Alex Bregman 171 plus.
Oh, yeah.
They gave him 28.5 a year. It's a lot of money, and he turned him down.
All right, what do you want him to do?
So the money was there. He did spend $25 million on Jack Flaherty, irresponsible.
Fair.
Spent $15 million on Alex Cobb, completely irresponsible. Gave the okay on $15 million for Gleyber Torres. I don't think it's Chris Ilitch going to the agent and saying, hey, I want Braylon Edwards for this much money.
Gotcha.
I think it's Scott Harris doing that and saying, hey, Chris, this is how much money I need to get him. Do you okay it? What's he going to bring to the table? This. Okay. Check. Again, we're not defending Chris Ilitch. There's plenty of things that I think he could do better. Yeah. But I think if you're looking for player signings, and Detroit is 14th right now in payroll when it comes to updated through the trade deadline because you're bringing on some contract. 14. I don't know where people expect them to be.
I don't think it's Chris Ilitch's fault. I think it's if you want to blame Chris Ilitch, what I would say is this. Scott Harris is bringing he's fleecing Chris Ilitch. And Chris Ilitch is allowing it to happen. Like, if you want to get mad at Chris Ilitch, then mad at Chris Ilitch for not doing his homework and not understanding that these aren't necessarily the moves that we should be making and not okaying it. But I think he's also caught in a conundrum where it's like, well, I watch across the street, Brad Holmes, they trust him. The Lions, Sheila trusts Brad to make the decisions. Like, she trusts Dan to then cultivate the decision. So maybe I should just stay out of it. I'll okay it and let it happen. Like, and sometimes you have to step in. You have to say.
So he could have stepped in
when
Scott Harris came up with that quote we started the show at, and could have stepped in and said, "Hey, I don't know what you're thinking with these, but we got a chance to win. We need to go for it. Okay, we got a chance to go to get a guy like Merrill Kelly, who I brought up, a top line starter for you. Let's go and do something like that. If you want to, that's why I say, if you want to blame him for that, I'm all for it. Okay. Just don't use the financial aspect of it. And as Chuck says, really, we're defending Chris? No, we're not, Chuck. Are you listening at all? We're not defending him. We've said it twice. We're giving you this scenario. The general manager, the president of baseball operations, is the one who identifies the players that they want to go get. If we want to blame Chris Ilitch, we will do that and blame him, because what he should have done to Scott Harris and said, listen, we've got a really good opportunity here in the American League. I'm engaged with this baseball team. We got a really good opportunity. Who are you trying to protect on our farm system? Who are you trying to protect? Go out and get who you need, for crying out loud. And we'll worry about the prospects later. Sure, but from a financial standpoint, from a money standpoint, spending aspect, we're just giving you examples of that he has spent, whether you like him or not. It's amazing how people, it's like I say to my kids all the time, you hear me, but you're not listening. You know what I mean?
That's what my dad tells me.
Yeah,
it's probably true.
I get it. Some people say the same thing about me.
I think also, too, people make comments so you can read them.
Well, then success from Chuck, because I did read it.
100%.
Anything else that you want to get into, Kool-Aid, before we take a break? Don't forget, we got Doc coming up in about 10 minutes.
That's right. Yeah, I was just over here texting with the Doc. But, again, just if people didn't hear it earlier, happy birthday. Happy birthday, Kay Cunningham.
2 times.
And Chauncey Billups.
There you go. Love Chauncey Billups, man. Like, Chauncey was one of those guys, like I told you, like I always tell a story, like Stackhouse was like my first big brother with the Detroit Pistons. And the next one was Chauncey when Stack left. Chauncey, he would never, like when I got in the club, he would never let me go in the clubs. Like, he would try to keep me out of the clubs. I think I met Chauncey my sophomore year. You know what I'm saying? So he would try to keep me out of the clubs. Then when I started going into the clubs, he was like, hey, what's in that cup? I said, just water. I don't drink.
Yeah, he's, I've said this for a long time, some of the best leaders I've covered for all the years I've been in Detroit, he's one of them. Right, Nick Lidstrom's one of them, but Chauncey Billups is definitely one of them. Chris Spielman's one of them.
Lidstrom was here today.
Talking about leaders.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Yeah, Lidstrom was in Birmingham Roast.
Yeah, really like the way those guys go about their business and get after it. All right, quick timeout. Doc Jeff Pierce is coming up at about 3:40. We're going to talk about some injuries, and then we get the mailbag at 3:50 here on the Braylon Edwards Show. But now, a word from BlackRock.
That's right. Try the steak and lobster for just $19.99. The steak and lobster for $19.99. It's a little bit of surf and turf for those out there that enjoy that. But if you really want to enjoy the new item on the menu, you know what it is. Come get some of Braylon's beef. And I'm not joking. It is on the menu. Come get some of Braylon's beef. A 20-ounce hand-cut New York strip. Feast like a beast. You know what I'm saying? You got to feed the beast. You got to come to BlackRock. 20% off of the food bill as well when you mention Woodward Sports. Make sure you mention that Woodward Sports. And don't forget the fish and trips, $14.99 every single day. Cheesy pull-apart fish and chips with the bread. Oh, my God. Just getting hungry just thinking about it. Look, man, it may be summer over, fall's here, but the fall still sizzles. And it sizzles best at BlackRock Bar and Grill.
We are watching the Ryder Cup warm up a little bit in a little bit of rain as they get ready for day one tomorrow. And it reminds us that we like things pretty simple, don't we? Like on the golf course, the gimmies to keep the round going a little bit. Something that's not real complicated. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men feels the exact same way. Not necessarily that they're going to give you a 3-foot putt. They might make you earn it, but they understand that your time is valuable and they want to make things really easy for you. So you can just drop in, walk in, sign in, and boom, the next thing you know, you're in a chair and you're out the door shortly thereafter with a really good-looking haircut. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 7 days a week, 10 till 8, and it's wicked awesome.
Hold on. I can't believe I didn't mention the best part of the Black Rock read nowadays. Cut the music. Because everybody likes the word free.
I do.
Everybody likes the 5-finger discount. So we're about to connect the Detroit Lions to Black Rock. If the Lions win, you can go into Black Rock and guess what you get? You get a free appetizer. I didn't stutter, ladies and gentlemen. When the Lions win, you win. These are the type of individuals that we partner with, and we love our partnership with Black Rock. The Lions win, you win. You go in after the Lions win, you get an appetizer, and guess what? It's free. Not to mention you get 20% off the food bill, so get a free appetizer. Never mind. You can do the math. Go to Black Rock. They're waiting for you.
Okay, what's the appetizer that will tickle everybody's proverbial fancy?
We skipped the commercial. I was trying to finish.
I would love to know what your favorite appetizer would be. Okay, so they've got, here's what they have. They have
I was about to say chips and
chopstick
salsa.
chicken. They have ahi tuna, volcano shrimp, winner, bubbling shrimp on a stone, coconut shrimp, I'll take it, lobster dip, spinach artichoke dip,
the
fried
pita bread
pickles,
makes
or
the
Brussels
spinach artichoke
sprouts.
dip. That pita
So
bread.
give me the one. I just read you a number of Black Rock's appetizers. Go ahead.
Volcano shrimp.
Volcano shrimp.
I'm a shrimp guy anyway,
Make it two.
so,
Me
yeah.
too.
Yeah.
I'm much shorter than you. What about you, Kool-Aid?
Hey, you know what? Wifey and I, we got around over there to Black Rock. Shout out to the Braylon Edwards Show with Matt
There
Shepard.
we go.
And they said it. You guys did a wonderful job out there for Grandma's birthday. But
they were so great.
We love the spinach artichoke dip. Like, there were many things that we liked. We tried a couple different appetizers, but for whatever reason, that spinach artichoke dip with the pita bread, it was fire.
My wife would love to sit at your table. I would sit at the table next to you. What about you? What about you?
I'm sitting at Kool-Aid's table.
Oh, you do the same. Excuse us, artichoke dippers.
I don't like shrimp. I've tried it many times. I just don't like shrimp.
The volcano shrimp or coconut shrimp, either one, put it on the table, and you can turn your head and it might be gone by the time you turn back around.
I ate too much coconut shrimp at a restaurant. Not one time. I'm talking about the spot I used to go to a lot. I can't eat any more coconut shrimp. Like I wore myself out on coconut. I don't like coconut.
That's right. We'll share the volcano shrimp.
Yeah.
And now we can go back to commercial.
We can get the shrimp scampi too.
That's good too. Yeah.
Planet Fitness now has even more best-in-class strength equipment. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new faith. New focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Every Sunday, there's only one place to get all your kneecapping, hard-hitting Detroit Lions coverage. Start your Sunday with the Lions Weekly Report with Broder and Terry Foster. Then, the Lions pregame show with Neil Rule and Sean Baligian. At kickoff, keep it locked in for all the emotions of the game with a live watch party with the heavyweights. Then, recap the game with the Lions postgame show with Anson. Game days, there's no other place to be than Woodward Sports. Live all game day. Go Lions. Head to WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
It's a really good question, Braylon. Really good question that we'll talk about maybe here in a minute. Tonight, my wife's got book club tonight, guys.
Book club?
Book club.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Support, give him a lot of credit. I do ask her, what do you talk about? Oh, we talk about the book. Really? Okay. That's interesting. What if you didn't read the book? Well, yeah. So they've got the wine, they've got the appetizers, they got all that stuff. So she said, you're on your own tonight. I said, that's fine by me. I've got a baseball game and a football game to watch. And a Buddy's Pizza to grab to boot.
Hey.
That's right. Buddy's Pizza
That's what's up.
has created the original Detroit-style pizza way back 1946, so they know how to do it. They've been doing it right. They are the original 22 locations in the state of Michigan, and they have been dedicated to making the best pizza you can get. When you have somebody from out of town come in and they say, I want a Detroit-style pizza, you know where to take them. You take them to Buddy's. And right now, order a pizza using the promo code 10MEAL, and you get 10% off your entire order. Go to buddyspizza.com.
If you are looking to upgrade your relaxation game, check out Massage Chair House in Bloomfield Hills, Michigan. Yesterday, I worked out, did a little back and by day, and I used that massage
Back
chair.
and by. All right. I like that.
And I used that massage chair right before the show, and it was wonderful. Helped out my back so much.
Did you fall asleep?
No, not like Braylon. He fell asleep at the massage chair house, right?
Not that.
But no, we got top brands like Affinity and Osaki. It's located near the corner of Woodward and Long Lake Road. Experience luxury comfort with Dr. Eric Duncan, the wellness doc, creator of the top YouTube massage chair review channel. The new chair should be here shortly. Book a visit at www.massagechairhouse.com or scan that QR code above my head. Massage Chair House, your ticket to ultimate recovery and relaxation.
You know what's coming up at 4 o'clock, right?
Leaving?
The Ryder Cup Friday pairings.
Oh, the announcement? Yeah.
Team USA is pretty young.
Yeah. See, stats like this is why I say, like, Lamar Jackson, like, it's just an interesting conundrum whenever you mention his name in the Baltimore Ravens.
Okay.
It's just it. No, hear me out.
I'm listening. You love coming back to Lamar.
I do, because it's fun. It's entertaining this year.
Right.
I feel like the wheels are falling off, so it's fun to watch. Because, side note, I really believe that they're in trouble. And that's why I think if they're the team that loses to the Chiefs, they're really in trouble. You just talked about the first team in 10 years to hold them under 100.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? It happened back-to-back weeks.
Yeah, right.
Like, what happens against the Chiefs? But here we go. QBs with 9 passing touchdowns on 0 interceptions through the first 3 games of a season. Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Peyton Manning. All of them went 3-0. Lamar did it. He's 1-2.
Wow.
He's 1-2.
That's an interesting stat.
It's just one of those things where it's like, it's a team game, but damn.
Here's another interesting one regarding the game of football.
Okay.
And I'll give Albert Breer of Sports Illustrated and SI.com the credit. Over the last 30-plus games, 31 for Matthew Stafford, 32 for Patrick Mahomes, 34 for Jared Goff. Jared Goff has the best completion percentage.
Yeah.
Jared Goff has the most yards thrown. Jared Goff, by far and away, has the most touchdown passes. And Jared Goff has by far and away the best rating.
Yeah.
This is not 3 games. This is 30-plus games. Yeah. 31 for Stafford, 32 for Mahomes, 34 for Goff. That's pretty impressive, too. I mean, and so the headline for SI.com is why Jared Goff might be the most underappreciated quarterback in the NFL. Outside of Detroit, he probably is. I say, here in Detroit, I think a lot of people appreciate him. And I hope they do. It's been awesome.
What will Lamar, Matt, or any look like in this offense?
In this Lions offense?
This Lions offense, what would they look like?
Oh, I'm sure they would have a lot of success. Lamar Jackson has been such a good again, I'll call myself out. Just didn't like the way he threw the ball. Louisville didn't like his passing. He has worked on his craft, and that man is legit. I don't like that people think he's just a runner. I think Peyton Manning brought this up, or maybe it was Tom Brady, or maybe it was Troy Aikman. Yeah. There's a little bit of a misconception there. And once we get our brain fixated on what you are, it's hard to move off that. Yeah. Lamar Jackson's a hell of a passer, and he's an accurate passer for the most part. But Jared Goff is very precise. Yeah. So his numbers compared to 2 other Super Bowl winners and Mahomes is definitely a Hall of Famer. A lot of people feel like Matthew Stafford's a Hall of Famer. Jared Goff's numbers over this stretch, and it's a big sample size. This is not a small sample size. It's pretty impressive.
At the end of the day, Jared Goff is he might be the best at what he does in that space. You know what I'm saying? In terms of you give him protection, you give him time, the anticipation space, that he does it well. Like, I just broke down that play, and you see legitimately he's moving Roquan Smith. You see where he drops the pass right on the dime. Like, he's doing it. Like, it's no disrespect to anybody. He's kicking butt. He's doing it, but like, I think people, for him, for whatever reason, they're waiting for him to close the door. And whether that door is getting back to the Super Bowl with the Detroit Lions, and then they can give him some respect, I think it's a little bit unfair, but hey, life's unfair.
Yeah, would love that for him to do that. Before we get to Dr. Jeffrey Pierce, Terrion Arnold, today Kelvin Shepard, the defensive coordinator for the Lions, spoke about Terrion Arnold and the fact that Amik Robertson is going to play a much more prominent role at outside cornerback. And Shepard insisted this. Here's the quote. Ready? Has nothing to do with Terrion's play or performance. It's due to wanting to get Robertson more involved in the defense, that courtesy of Dave Burkett and the Detroit Free Press. Shepard said, Amik has always earned his keep with me. I saw it last year. That's a player that's earned the right to be on the field. And just with the frequency of base defense that we're playing right now, he's losing snaps. To be honest, he's earned more of what he's gotten so far. So we're doing this. We were going to do this regardless. You buying that? Because I'm not.
Your first round pick from last year he's having a rough one. And I think that's what they see. You look at what Amik Robinson has done. I think Amik Robinson has shown himself to, when they put him in there, he's in coverage, he's in the right spaces, he's in connection, he's in sync with the wide receivers. He makes more plays, I think, right now, and they trust him right now more. They trust him. Whether it was the Jefferson game or whether it was everything he's done since. They trust Amik Robinson. This is basically telling you it's not a health thing. Mm-hmm. It's nothing nagging. This is nothing like that. This is Amik Robinson is a better player, pound for pound right now, than your first round pick from last year. And this is them getting him on the field. This is them trusting him more. And this is also them not giving up on Terry, because he's still starting. Yeah. He's still splitting time with Amik Robinson. This is them lighting a fire. Like, yeah, you're not, because keep in mind, this is very interesting, intriguing that it comes on the heels of who's starting a podcast with Patrick Surtain? No. You guys are laughing.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Well, don't get me started.
Who's starting a podcast with Patrick Surtain that starts next week?
Terrion.
Or starts today?
Yeah, it's already started. Yeah.
So legitimately, this is them, since you want to focus on other things and not necessarily be the best version of yourself in year two. We got to let you know this is the NFL. Just because you got drafted first round doesn't mean you get to get all the snaps. This is them trying to light a proverbial fire under him and trying to get him to the ball game.
Mm-hmm. Nothing is given.
Heck no. This is a demotion.
Yeah, especially on this team.
This is definitely a demotion. The problem is they go nickelback half the game, so he's always going to be on the field. Now, this is a demotion, in my opinion.
We feel like it's a promotion anytime we get our friend Dr. Jeffrey Pierce here on the Braylon Edwards Show. So he joins us, and he is out of town again. But he's a busy guy. People want his services. Where are you today, Doc?
Nashville.
I'm in St. Louis. How are you guys doing?
Good. How you been? Good? You have a good week so far?
Good week so far. You know, a little holiday going on, so observe that. And ran off to St. Louis to kind of spread my knowledge base over here. So...
Well,
we don't always love St. Louis for their sports, but we do tolerate them.
They are lucky to have you.
It's his favorite baseball town, right, Shep?
I think it's the best baseball town.
Right, here we go.
Yeah, I do. Boston's pretty close. Anyway, so let's talk to you a little bit about some of the injuries that are taking place. Specifically, Justin Fields, the quarterback with the New York Jets. They play Monday night against Miami. Neither team has a win so far. Aaron Glenn.
You know I'm a Jets guy, man. Come on, that's harsh.
I know. I'm sorry, but
JTS, man.
Facts are facts. They're both 0-3. I don't know if Tyrod Taylor
Somebody
starts
will
or not.
win.
So somebody's going to win. Somebody's going to get their first win. When you get a concussion like he suffered, you know it's hard because everybody's different. But can you give us an idea of what the whole process is to get him through that ailment?
Yeah, I mean, concussions, obviously we know a lot about them because just the different degrees. I mean, if he's even thinking about playing, he's probably doing pretty well. He's a little foggy. Look at reaction times. Look at how quick he can read the defense, how quick his footsteps are. Is he hesitant? Those are all major things for him to be in playing shape. Is he ready? Do they need him? I mean, he hasn't lit up the world at all yet for his first 3 games. So I think it's going to be a game time decision with him. But the concussion, yeah, I mean, he's in concussion protocol. He got out of it. And is he going to be a little slow? Will he be foggy? I think we'll see in the within the first quarter what he's really going to look like. But as far as recovery, we look at what his reaction times are. Is he having headaches? Is he like a little slow to respond? Is it taking him a second longer to get his task done? Is he, I say reaction times, that's most important especially for that position. And you have to be able to multitask. When you have a concussion, you're not multitasking very well. And if you're not going to be able to do that, you're not going to be able to run the offense of a professional NFL team.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, that's okay. All right, I got one more before Braylon jumps in.
I could keep going.
No, that's good. Tarek Skubal the other night seemed upset, and probably rightfully so. During the 6th inning, he threw a pitch high and inside. David Fry squared to bunt, hit him right in the face. Tarek Skubal, very kind, went with Stephen Vogt, their manager, to the hospital and make sure Fry's all right. Some fractures in his face, out at least 4 to 6 weeks is what I'm reading. I'm sure you saw the play. More from a mental standpoint, Doc, how do you think that affects not just the player who was hit, but the player who also threw the pitch, in this case, Tarek Skubal?
I did watch it multiple times, and I saw his reaction. And I think it was more on the player. It wasn't like he went after him, right? Mm-hmm. He hit him. It is a game. It is baseball. He is throwing high 90s. If it was like he went after him and he hit him, or he lost control of the ball, I think Skubal will have more responsibility. But if you really look at the tape, the batter was more, I'm not going to blame fault anywhere, but he stepped into it in a way that he should have known better. I mean, that ball, it wasn't highly inside. It wasn't going at him. He positioned himself, and that ball came up into his face. It wasn't a malicious act by Skubal, but, I think he shows that he's human. I think the biggest thing for us Detroit fans is that you saw the human side, and he even came out to say life is bigger than the game, and life health is part of it. And that's a great message that I want everybody to take away from. This is a game, and it is dangerous, and people do get hurt, and they do have career injuries, career-ending injuries.
He tried to bunt, and it hit the bat, and then hit him.
Yeah, so you're seeing it. He squares and he comes at it. Skubal, that ball's not heavily inside. He didn't aim at him. He didn't I know he's bunting, I'm going to hit him in the face type of thing. It's a ball that was well placed because he's a great pitcher. But again, what I was trying to say is that he gave us life perspective. That he went there. He's an opposing player. He felt that he was responsible for it, and he did the right thing, which I think is a great message to all our young athletes, to all our young players, but to also understand that these guys are human and they are putting their life on the line. Mm-hmm. Career-wise, I don't want to be too dramatic, but this is a facial injury that could have got worse. I mean, one of our biggest facial injuries is Chris Draper. I mean, he was out. Yeah. He had multiple surgeries. Yeah, obviously good friend, but you're looking at the facial bones here. You're talking about a fracture in the nasal and frontal bone, which is right under the eyeball, which is where I think his injuries are. And for them to not be surgical, those are thick bones in your facial area. In the nose area, they're very brittle, but in the facial bones, those are very hard bones to crack. Your skull, that's why you see people hitting with their skull. That's another bone that's very thick and hard to crack. So the good news is he's not needing surgery. He will recover. Did he have a concussion? He's probably got a mild concussion, and he's going to take time to heal. He's taking conservative. Can he get a mask to play baseball? Yeah, it's not a contact sport. You may see him coming back if they make the playoffs in a couple weeks building with a custom mask to play baseball again. So he may be able to get back.
That
He's
might be
out 4 to 6 weeks to heal, but with special equipment and special sauce, you might be able to see him.
That might be a first if you got a mask like that.
There's that special sauce. Hey Doc, look, we don't think anyone foresaw what happened with the Detroit. Oh, is he gone? Doc,
no, he's back with us. He's back with us now.
I was going to ask you, Doc, how do you feel about how the Tigers are finishing the season right now? I think that's the best way to ask it. I think it's ruined a lot of people's week. It's ruined a lot of people's day. But it's not over for the Detroit Tigers, who still hold a one-game lead over the Astros for the wild card spot.
Yeah, but talk about that mental play.
Yeah.
I came out to say on Tuesday they need a shock treatment to that locker room. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah. Doc. Shock treatment.
Yeah, shock treatment.
I agree.
In the locker room. Yeah.
So I was suggesting Kevin Hart to come to the locker room to just change up that whole mental picture. They need something to shock that locker room to get them back into playing. But that's a big mental picture.
It's funny you said that, Doc.
What's that?
I said it's funny that you said a shock of some sort. Now, I don't know what that would be, but I was listening to some guys talk about it, and they said, remember we were younger and like coaches would have you hitting apples and things like that, and everybody just out there batting and hitting apples and smashing apples, and it's kind of it's a reset, if you will. It's a release, if you will. It's fun. It's kind of laughing. Now, this is when guys are kids. Guys are grown men making millions of dollars, but sometimes things like that, they work in their favor.
Or some teams will just leave. Like
get away.
Forget the ballpark for this morning.
Rex used to do that.
Yeah, why don't we just go someplace and see a movie together? Why don't we go, whatever. Yeah, something different than what we usually do. Paintball would be a really good one.
Don't do well unless you're the San Antonio Spurs, because that's how Tim Duncan damn near broke his ankle before the season. Yeah. Doc knows that story. It's actually a Doc story.
How do we gotta go paintball? I'm sure the Doc can play paintball as well.
Doc could be on the sideline.
Well, he's like a surgeon out there, so he's bound to hit you in the area that you least expect. Is he still with us?
Yes, he is.
There he is.
He got quiet. He knows the paintball story.
Yeah.
Can you hear?
Yeah, give us the paintball story.
No, that's actually how I became friendly with Tim Duncan, was through the whole paintball thing. Obviously, I'm friends with Gervin, and during those years, Duncan was a huge paintball guy. And we had a team actually with Draper, Osgood, and McCarty. We put them into heavy competition. This goes back some years. And, Tim was a big target. It was hard for him to hide. So they did hit him high and low. He couldn't hide. And he wasn't as agile as some of the other players as far as quickness and getting out of the way. So,
I get it. Yeah, I totally get it. Last thing, in about, 7 minutes from now, the Ryder Cup morning foursomes will be announced. All right? You'll have the morning foursomes tomorrow at Bethpage Black in New York. Who would you pair with Bryson DeChambeau?
Who would I pair from U.S.?
Maniacal laugh.
Well, you're not going to pair Europe with him, so from the U.S.
I'm trying to think quick. DeChambeau can carry the whole team, so we need one of the younger guys. Probably one of the younger guys. One of the rookies to play with him.
Okay, so you would go with you would go with a rookie guy like a Russell Henley, perhaps, is what you're suggesting. Okay. All right.
Yeah, pretty
Sounds
much.
good. You'll be watching tomorrow, just like we will be, and we'll probably be talking about it tomorrow as well here on the Braylon Edwards Show. Doc, thanks, man. Appreciate you joining us from St. Louis, my man. All the best.
Yeah. The other thing I wanted to bring up was the Hutchinson thing. Hutchinson coming back. I predicted game 3 or 4, and he's right after the third game, where he's finally getting his mojo, his swag, his rhythm. I think Hutch is back full. The mental is starting to overcome. I think that sack and that fumble, causing that fumble, you could just see his whole energy kind of come out, more of his personality coming out. But, I talked a lot about it on Tuesday, but a lot of people are worried about Hutchinson. Will we see him? I think now we're going to see the real Hutch kind of explode over the next couple of games.
Well,
for
hope
sure.
you're right. Yeah, we heard you say that on Tuesday. That was good intel and good information. You are a little bit of a Nostradamus by predicting that. Congratulations. We'll see. Have a safe trip back from St. Louis. We'll see you next week, Doc.
Saturday at the
All
Big
right,
House.
Take care, everybody.
Zach Bryan and
there you go.
John Mayer. You gonna be there?
I will be there. I'll be backstage.
Well, hit me. I will be too. I got those same passes.
All right, well, have fun, man. Be safe.
Talk
and
to me.
I will hang
and
out.
Braylon can get together at Black Rock there in Ann Arbor before the before the whole concert begins. All right, thanks. Appreciate it very much. As always, Doc, well, we got to get to some mailbag and some final comments here on the Braylon Edwards Show. And again, as I mentioned, 4 o'clock. I would probably put a guy like Colin Morikawa with him.
Ooh.
Just because Bryson DeChambeau's so good off the tee, and his short game's not bad, but he needs better iron play.
Yeah.
And Colin Morikawa might be the best iron player on that U.S. team. So why don't we hit some mailbags and
sir.
some super chats real quick. Go
We
ahead.
definitely will. We're not going to go anywhere, but I will throw it over to Ryan in the sound booth for just a quick word from Caesars. And get those mailbag questions in the chat, people.
Yeah, if you guys are looking to place any bets for this football weekend, make sure you head over to Caesars Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of us here at Woodward Sports. Scan that QR code above my head and use or enter code Woodward1000. You will get your deposit back after your first bet if it doesn't hit. Maximum of $1,000, so you could bet $1,000 on a game and lose it, get it right back. Minimum bet of just $20. Download Caesars Sportsbook app today or use code Woodward1000.
And we bet.
Okay.
And you know what? To kick things off, I wanted to get Bray's thoughts on Marvin Harrison Jr. I see some chatter about him here. And didn't necessarily have the best week. There was some big drops going on there. And just your perspective on
Overrated.
And your perspective on it.
Yeah, no, it's funny you mentioned that. Like when he came out, everybody was talking about he's the best receiver in Big Ten history, and he's this, he's that. And I said, look, his father was amazing. His father's top 5 wide receivers in NFL history. I said, but you gotta slow down and pump the brakes. You know, how many stud wide receivers have you seen come out of Ohio State in like the last 15 years? Yeah. Like, have all of them been the best wide receiver of all time? They all have the same numbers. Yeah. Well, not all of them, but a lot of them have those numbers. Big numbers. And none of them have better numbers than Emeka Egbuka. Mm-hmm. Realistically, he has the best. But realistically, to answer the question, I don't like using overrated, but I will say he has not met the draft pick. He has not met the hype. He has not met what people said, because at one point in time, there wasn't Malik Neighbors. There was Marvin Harrison Jr., and there was Malik Neighbors. And now that is an afterthought. It's not even close on who's the best wide receiver between the two of them. And I don't think it did himself any favors when every time you saw highlights from training camp, and I'm not bringing him up because he went to Michigan, but every time you saw highlights in training camp, they weren't positive highlights. They were him getting jammed at the line of scrimmage by Will Johnson. They were him getting intercepted by Will Johnson. They were him dropping passes in preseason in the
preseason games?
The preseason. Well, he didn't play. The preseason
training camp?
There you go. Yeah. The training camp scrimmages. Dropping passes. It's gotten to the regular season. Dropping passes. So I don't know if he's in his own head. I don't know what he's gone away from, but he definitely does need to make some plays, because the tag that Shep said, it will happen fast. It does happen fast, and once it gets placed on you, it's tough to come back from that. So
he wasn't as good as people thought he would be even last year.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not going to this year. I'm talking about since he's been in the league.
Yeah.
Like it hasn't been that.
Yeah, people were kind of saying wait till next year. You know, he's just
it's too late. Like we know now. Like the first week of the season last year, you don't remember? What did he have? He had 2 touchdowns. He came out the gate and everybody said, "Oh yeah, he's arrived." He finished the season with 2 touchdowns or 3 touchdowns. So yeah, he's getting close to the territory of, what do you do with this guy?
Yeah, that should be a deep concern. That's a lot of
draft
capital.
Too.
I'm surprised at the drops. That's all. Yeah. I mean, I'm really surprised at, and Braylon, you could speak to this. I mean, you got to keep your eye going. He lets the ball come into his body, and again, it's really surprising. I thought he was a hands guy.
It's funny because his father caught with his body too.
Oh, okay.
But his father don't drop passes. So it's 2 things can be true. But his father catch a lot of passes like those, Marvin. But he would catch on. He was deadly with his feet in the end zone. How many corner pass fades did you see him barely get 2 feet down?
Yeah.
That was something magical.
Yeah, for sure. All right, go ahead. Keep going.
Hey, you know,
Kool-Aid,
we
thank
got these super chats to clear up. Deontay Moore, number 2 crown in the chat right now, just sent in a $5 super chat. Just sent it in just to bless the show. So shout out to Deontay Moore. Didn't even say anything.
Okay.
And I saw him in the chat say, "Yo, I'm here.
Oh,
I'm supporting." He was like,
I just saw Deontay
is
Moore
bigger in person.
I just saw.
Yeah.
Yo, I was supposed to shout him out. I'm glad he reached out. Yo, Deontay, yo, real talk. When you guys see me in person, man, talk to me, say something just like Deontay did. Saw him at the rest stop on the way to the game. He had great energy. We chatted up. He said he loves the show. He loves the network. Man, we appreciate that feedback. We appreciate that energy, man. Like, we're approachable. I appreciate that. Much love, much love. He was super cool too. He was doing his thing, you know what I'm saying?
That doesn't surprise us, does it?
Yeah,
Should not surprise us. Thank you for Deontay. Appreciate you doing
doing
that.
his thing, man. Appreciate you. Blessings, brother.
Yeah.
Blessings.
Well, it is 4 o'clock. That means we got to get out of here. We're back with you tomorrow afternoon, 2 o'clock here on Woodward Sports, the Braylon Edwards Show. Our thanks to Ryan. Our thanks to Kool-Aid, and of course the man, Braylon Edwards, and those breakdowns. If you missed any of them, make sure you're following us on social media because you will see them, and hopefully a little bit later on, the heavyweights will play them on their show as well. We're back tomorrow, 2 o'clock. Have a great Thursday, everybody.
Ever wonder what goes on inside the game?
Deep ball's got a man and got him. Touchdown, Braylon Edwards.
Join Braylon Edwards and Shep.
Edwards has it. 10-5. Touchdown.
On the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Ball looks in zone. Got Edwards for the touchdown.
Where they dive deep into the heart of sports. Weekdays from 2 to 4 p.m., they're bringing you expert analysis, exclusive interviews, and a fresh perspective on the sports you love. Don't miss it, only on the Woodward Sports Network.